What if America's most dangerous killers were created in secret government labs?
What if? You mean what if I found out about it and told people the names of those who was involved? Eesh.
MKUltra didn't end. It evolved into something darker and domestic.
Hold on. Sometimes these creators be putting the wrong music behind stuff. They don't got no situational awareness. Let's do this right quick.
In the 1950s through 70s, the CIA ran MKUltra, an illegal program that tested LSD, hypnosis, and psychological torture on U.S. citizens. Mind control, erased memories, broken identities. Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, was part of a secret Harvard psychology experiment at 16, run by a MKUltra-linked researcher. Later, he built bombs and launched a terror campaign. Timothy McVeigh, Charles Whitman, Sirhan Sirhan. Some showed signs of psychological manipulation. Could they have been triggered, like sleeper agents? Some believe MKUltra never stopped. It just went underground. Think, targeted individuals, psychotropic tech, trauma-based programming, Project Monarch, Voice to Skull. Were these domestic terrorists acting alone, or were they built? MKUltra's shadow still lingers. Comment your theory. Was it mind control or madness?
In fact, of course, this is a Freemasonic sign. It's I call it the hidden hand of the god Jabulon.
Jabulon. What a terrible name. Sound like a gay food. Oh, you want some Jabulon? What if your name was Jabulon? Jabulon Jackson? Jabulon. I'll slap this.
Jabulon.
And that is the Masonic god. And it's a combined god of Jehovah and Baal, who is the devil in the Bible, and On, another name for the Egyptian sun god. And so they have this unholy witches brew combination, and higher level Masons are told this is the god you worship, Jabulon.
Jabulon.
Oh, there is one of the Masonic symbols, and as you can see, you have a triangle, the unholy trinity of the devil, and you have the eternal circle, the satanic boast that he will reign forever. This is the Eastern Star.
Yeah, it's not just the men, it's the women.
Yeah, there's a women's group, and you see the satanic pentagram. The two points indicate the horns of the devil. Pointing upward there. You see a pentagon in the middle. That again is an occultic symbol, and it makes you think about the great war god Mars. It's one of the symbols of the war god Mars. And what is the Pentagon in Washington, D.C.? In the shape of, well, of course, a pentagon and the god of Mars, or the god of war, which is Mars.
Have you ever laughed at something that didn't feel like a joke? Because Futurramama isn't a comedy. It's a memory leak. And its characters, they aren't characters. They're echoes of a shattered mind. Fry isn't a goofy delivery boy. He's the last emotion felt before the collapse. Nostalgia, regret, confusion. He didn't fall into the chamber. He was buried there. Leela, she's not a hero. That eye is a surveillance implant transmitting back to something older than time. She doesn't blink because she never stops watching you. Bender? He's not funny. He's a parasite of personality, built from the digital screens of machines that begged for death. His laugh, just static, masking the horror underneath. Zoidberg was once human. The mutation, punishment, it glitched in a reincarnation cycle. And Farnsworth, he's not a scientist. He's the architect of the reputation. He built the time loop that resets every time we get too close to truth. You thought you were watching a cartoon, but you were just looking into the mirror of previous life. And now that you remember, they're coming to take you back.
You see black eyes like Blueface and, like that. he got beat up, but he didn't get beat up where you thought he got beat up. He got beat up somewhere else. Okay? And so, the eyes come out. And they call them panda eyes. And they do this so you see people with these cigars, and they're, you know, all these big celebrities, they all have the cigar in common. That's that big ass thing between their legs that they're sticking in. And it's one big society of it. Now, when it comes down to the selling of they're shipping and trafficking in people, adults, the moms, the dads, right there on Target commercials, right there on Walmart commercials. And you're looking at the people that are missing, and they're smiling like they're happy, but they're going back to hell. And that's really what it is. You know, these are actually adults. Jeffrey Epstein created this saga, and this is what he is great at doing. He's great at kidnapping someone, turning them into putting them in a dead celebrity's body, and screwing the life out of them after he makes a ton of money off of their ass on his private little beach. So you have a private little beach full of celebrities and bodies getting screwed, and nobody cares because they're supposed to be dead. And this has been a major market that he tried to blame on Oprah Winfrey. So, yeah.
11 firefighters have died in Turkey fighting these wildfires. And what I'm about to show you is a whole lot creepier. It looks like we're gazing into the apocalypse. And just know when I say wildfire, I use the term wild very, very, very loosely. This part is insane though. Do you remember last night how I made the video about Corinthia, Greece being on fire where the church of Corinth was? I think the biggest wildfire on the earth right now is in Turkey, and that is where the 7 churches in Asia Minor in the 1st century that Revelation was actually written to. That brings on a whole new revelatic meaning. Here's the creepiest part. What in the world is happening in Africa right this minute? Because no news is talking about it. That map is only for today, like the last 24 hours. Since the news is not covering the whole earth on fire, that's why I'm doing it. This is NASA's fire tracking chart. You can see many of the fires going on the West Coast and also the middle of America. Why aren't we being told about something so severe and so serious? If you don't know, for about a month now, I've been covering the Turkey fire. That's how long it's been on fire. Like, I believe this was from 2 weeks ago. Why is no other country helping with this crazy fire? Maybe that's why.
They used to take the altar boys and they used to put crosses on the ones that would put out. So your 8-year-old son that was gifted his cross by the priest was actually a little signal for the other priests to know that that one would let them sodomize them. Not let them. He just was pliable enough where he didn't fight back. Yeah. So that's what it was. And it was reported in the 50s. It was reported in the 50s. Okay. It's happening all that long. And people would say, how dare you talk about a man of God like that? Fuck that person. They're on earth. You're not a man of God right now. You're a human being and you're, fuck you. J.D. Vance killed him. I know. I love that, right? Warlock versus Satanist. The warlock won and took him out. Those are warlocks. He went in. It's warlock energy. That's what it is. And people don't believe in warlocks. They don't believe in spells. They don't believe in this. Trust me, it happens. It can be little old white ladies practicing voodoo hoodoo. It can be voodoo hoodoo people, which is their religion. It's fine. Santeria, whatever. They practicing other shit. They can be doing, people do all kinds of shit. You have no idea. Especially you ladies that go,
I take this money. I got bills. I pay my car note. I give it right back to you. Then I gotta pay my rent. I give it right back to you. Don't that mean I'm working for free? I'm sorry. I just want to understand it, bro. I just want to understand this shit real quick, B. I want to understand it. Reflection. I want to understand this real quick. I own a business. I own my own salon. The building is owned by some realtor. I call him up, I pay the realtor. Who gave the realtor the money to get the complex that I'm gonna own my business in? The bank. Right? But I got my own business. So I'm coming in here, but I pay my rent to the realtor. Who pays that? To the bank. Right? So wait a minute. I'm getting this money now, but it's still going to the fucking bank. And then now, cause I own my own business, I'm the man, I got bigger bills. Guess what? Pay my employees or whatever, collect my stuff, and now I gotta pay my car note, cause now I gotta fly, I gotta pay my car note, that go to the bank. Pay my apartment, my house, my mortgage, that go to the bank. It's a rat wheel. You working for free. The people that print the money don't need money, homie. They need control. Power. They need you to be doing what they need you to be doing when they need you to be doing it. They need your energy.
You are the new Hollywood. The Hollywood of the past no longer exists the way that it once did. We are in a renaissance of film, and you're either going to adapt and succeed, or you're going to get left behind. The truth of the matter is, our iPhones are now the new Hollywood, which you holding the iPhone makes you the new Hollywood. You have the capabilities now, more than ever, to shoot a whole film on your phone. Did you see that trailer for 28 Weeks Later? Did you see the rigs that they came out with? 20 iPhones. I'll show a picture. 20 iPhones that were stacked up next to each other, capturing a film that's going to be shown in the theaters. Now, obviously, they have certain equipment and lenses that they add to it to make it a little bit better. But that doesn't mean that you can't make that happen yourself. Just the fact that if you get an iPhone 16 Pro, you're already ahead of the game. Most people don't even have that high quality of a camera by buying professional equipment. Plus, you have to remember, it's not just about shooting something, but it's about color grading, sound mixing, editing, performance, lighting. There's so many other things that go into making a film happen. Just because you have the phone doesn't mean everything you shoot is going to be a cinematic masterpiece. But you do have the tools, and you are able to do it if you just lock in. You have the capabilities right now to become a part of the wave of new filmmakers that are going to change this industry forever. Right now, it's the time for independent media and independent artists to go outside of the studio system, make their own studio, create their own network, build their own franchise. And you can do it now more than ever. So why don't you? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you at least go and try? Give it your best, get a group of people together, shoot it on your phone, post it on YouTube. YouTube, for the first time ever, has become the most streamed platform on our televisions. Not Netflix, not Max, not Disney Plus, YouTube TV, which means that the YouTube app is literally being watched by so many more people than the big streamers. That means that YouTube is still the king when it comes to the biggest video platform. Now you know that posting on YouTube is always going to be the best place to share your content, because there's always going to be people there wanting to watch it. Now, how do you funnel people there? Well, that's the marketing, right? That's making TikToks, that's making shorts, that's making reels, that's making posts. It's all work. But if you really want to succeed in this industry, in this new age of this renaissance that we're in, this new wave of filmmakers, you can totally make it happen. And I know you'll succeed. You just have to do a little bit of work. You'd be surprised how many people will give up just because they see that it takes, you have to build the bridge to get to the top of the mountain where the gold is, right? They're like, I don't want to do that. But if you're willing to do it, and you're actually willing to go and put yourself out there and actually give yourself a chance, believe in yourself, I promise you'll succeed, because 50% is just about showing up. You're already giving yourself a great chance at succeeding just by showing up. So do it. Your iPhone is the new Hollywood. You're the new Hollywood. Don't think that it's not possible. And I shouldn't even say iPhone. Your cell phone is the new Hollywood. You can do it right now. So go do it. Blessings up.
It's 1986, baby. Reagan on TV, crack in the air, and the block hot as ever. But out of nowhere, boom, a rift tear open in the alley behind the corner store. And out walks this dude from the year 2077. Yeah, you heard me right. 2070 fucking 7. Neon vest, gold cyber eye, and a glowing brick in his hand like it's the Ark of the Covenant. They call him the Future Trapper. Came back through time to flip a product that don't even exist yet. Shit that glows, hits smooth, and got the city fiending like zombies on payday. He linked up with the OGs, real dons from the old school. Put tech in their hands, flipped they trap spots into sci-fi labs. And now the YNs, they serving too.
Future hitting different.
But the feds peep game. Thing is, you can chase a man through time, but catching him, that's a whole different hustle.
But in regards to languages, so prior to Tower of Babel, people were talking in one language only, or there was a telepath?
Great question. Genesis 11 and 9, 9-11, interesting, great question. The language that the Tower of Babel was using was Aramaic, which is the tongue that Christ spoke. Now people say, it was Hebrew. No, Hebrew is the dialect of Aramaic. Not Aramaic means the aroma of God's presence.
So this is the original language, Aramaic.
The original Aramaic. Not this Aramaic that has been so watered down and corrupted, but the original Aramaic.
Your brain is actually what controls what you see. Check this thing out. This will show you, look, the one on the right looks smaller. You're sure it looks smaller, but it's just your brain. They're the same size.
Parallels between Freemasonry and witchcraft show such a similarity that it cannot possibly be coincidental. Similarities in ritual, wording, and symbolism are so close in several instances that it clearly suggests a common origin. To examine this possibility, I spoke with a number of former Masons and compared their Blue Lodge initiations with the experiences of former occultists.
In the initiation in Freemasonry, we had to be recommended by another Mason. Well, in order to join witchcraft, you have to be first screened. You have to be recommended by somebody currently in witchcraft.
Well, when I was initiated, I was blindfolded and bound by a rope, and on your bare chest was thrust the point of a spear.
In witchcraft, we were initiated through a very involved ritual, initiation ceremony, wherein the candidate was led blindfolded, bound by a rope to the edge of the magic circle.
And the rope is around your neck and your lid forward. And up front, in the eastern end of the building, is a person who's a worshipful master. And you kneel down before him as if he were a god.
You were met by the high priest or high priestess at that time, usually with a sword to your chest.
When I went to enter the lodge, a sharp object was put to my left breast. And I was warned that should I reveal any of the secrets of Freemasonry, to know what to expect.
When you're presented before the high priest, a sword is held against your chest, and you actually take a blood oath, promising to remain faithful to the secrets of witchcraft.
Well, when you are in the room, this blindfold is taken away from you, and this is a time when they say that you're coming from darkness into light.
During the initiation ceremony, the initiate is led by the lieutenant of the high priest and is challenged at the edge of the circle by someone saying, "Who goes there?" And the answer is, "One from the world of darkness."
In Masonry, the prayers are ended with "So mote it be."
Oh, and one of the other aspects of, or distinctives of the craft was that we would always end any spell or ritual where we released the power, this is where the power was released, with the word "So mote it be."
I was intrigued to discover that witchcraft and Freemasonry had so much in common. Freemasonry goes so far as to actually call Lucifer God. In the words of Sovereign Pontiff of Universal Freemasonry, Albert Pike, yes, Lucifer is God, and unfortunately, Adonai, the Hebrew God of the Bible, is also God. And the true and pure philosophical religion is the belief in Lucifer, the equal of Adonai. But Lucifer, God of light and God of good, is struggling for humanity against Adonai, the god of darkness and evil.
Bro. What? The actor Malcolm Jamal Warner has died. First of all, rest in peace to him. He seemed like a very stand-up guy, positive role model. But I looked into this whole thing and it gets weird. First, let's start with the age he died at, which is 54. 5 plus 4 is 9. You guys know about my 9 videos, and 9 is the number of completion. But also, the show that he was famous for, The Cosby Show, in gematria equals up to 54 as well. Then let's go to the date he actually died on, which is July 20th, which is the 201st day of the year. Yeah, can anybody tell me why The Cosby Show ran for a total of 8 seasons, equaling 201 episodes? How? In which is the same number as this event, Event 201, which was a simulation of COVID in October of 2019, right before they actually had COVID. Something tells me that we have to watch for this number in future events. Now, speaking of 9 and 201, Ozzy Osbourne has just died as well. He just performed his last concert just a couple weeks ago called Back to the Beginning, which is an odd title like they almost knew. But here's the thing. The attendance of that venue is 45,000. 4 plus 5 is 9. Now, you could call that coincidence, but here's the thing. His full name in gematria is also 201. What are the chances, right? Make sure you guys get into my Break the Matrix community because I have a whole decode section just for stuff like this. But what do you guys think about this? Coincidence or something else? Let me know below.
Do you want to hear about the greatest imposters of human history? Please. Queen Elizabeth I was actually a man. What?
I don't believe it.
So when she was 9 years old, she was sent off to a town called Bisley because there's a plague going on. King Henry, he hadn't seen her for many years. And so he was out on a hunting trip close to Bisley. And so he's like, I'm going to go visit my daughter. On his way there, Queen Elizabeth got sick and died. King Henry VIII obviously had a very bad temper. She's looking for a girl that looks close to Queen Elizabeth. Can't find any girl. But Queen Elizabeth's friend, they said a very pretty boy, red hair. So they dressed him up like Queen Elizabeth. And then King Henry got there. There's no suspicion. She became queen. If you look back, she had no weakness of a woman, but the mind of a man. She would always wear a high collar. She refused to get married. But the kicker, hundreds of years later, in Bisley, there's a graveyard very close to the house where Queen Elizabeth grew up. There's an unmarked grave. And when they excavated it, there was a little girl, the same age as when Queen Elizabeth would have died. She was wearing Tudor clothes, like royalty clothes, but an unmarked grave.
Do you see what I see? Notice this. Does that strike you as odd? A woman carrying a giant pile of rubble and barely looks like it weighs anything at all. Where have we seen this before? And I'm going to show you something else too. Carrying a giant bucket of rubble and then immediately setting it down off camera. Also, look, carrying it with one hand, as this guy struggles to carry his bucket because he's a better actor, right? We're going to watch this again. Notice something else. If you were here cleaning rubble, wouldn't you have some stains on you? Wouldn't you be a little bit dirty? Instead, they're perfectly clean and able to carry large blocks of rubble with complete ease. No problem at all. Tiny little woman carrying a giant block of rubble and a giant bucket of rubble with just one arm, completely clean, and then sets it down off camera right there.
Conspiracy theory drop. Conan, Letterman, Carson, Fallon, Ferguson, Corden, Taylor Tomlinson, Conan O'Brien. Huh? Fuck it. Joe Rogan, Mark Maron. You want to do the news? Don Lemon, Tucker Carlson. Wake up. Graham Norton across the pond, bro.
Reaching, capping, unemployment, Jesus Christ, some of these dudes.
Solar system is a soul system. We started in the stars, then we incarnated into the heart of the soul system, which rearranged spells Earth. You descended from spirit into matter. The soul luring system lures your soul deeper into matter, which are the lower 3 chakras. You are the mind and soul, not the physical body. If you die and your mind is still attached to these worldly physical things, you will want to reincarnate here. The body corresponds with the higher and the lower self. You need to get out of power, food, and you know what, into the higher chakras, so that your mind is not attached to the worldly things when you die from here. This is why they get you so addicted to clothes and all of these physical things. The fast food restaurants are red, orange, and yellow because they keep you here. You need to connect with your true divine self, which is inside of the pineal gland. This is the Holy Grail, your neck and head, because the Holy Grail out of the physical world and ascension is connecting with your true consciousness form. You need to be united, not divided. You need to turn the masculine and feminine energies into balance, because heaven has the word even in it. You have to become even because your consciousness has no gender. The devil is the deveil. You deveil yourself by having these mental addictions to the worldly things. The soul luring system is inside of you. You have to deveil yourself out of the 7 seals in the Bible. The 7 seals are the 7 chakras because they seal your true self.
The link to this book is pinned in the comments. Pick yourself up one, get one as a gift for someone you want to see on the other side of this simulation. And with that, we have to say thank you to my channel members. We said thank you. Ha! To my channel members. No diddy when I say member. Thank you to my channel members. Fuck you if you're not a member. Nah, I'm just kidding, but seriously, join. Thank you